So here's what happened and what is currently happening. Now, before I continue, I respect Telltale. I love Telltale. Telltale has been my favorite video game company since 2011 when they released Back to the Future the game. But now I'm devastated. Telltale had over 350 employees last Thursday. Actually, 250. Now they have 25 employees. So what's happening? Is it fully over? That's what it sounds like. People are really mad about this. And I am too. As some of you may know, Telltale has shut down. You're probably wondering how and why did it happen. Well, last Friday, CEO of Telltale, Pete Hawley, made a statement on his Twitter page and it read, quote, "It's been an incredibly difficult year for Telltale as we worked to set the company on a new course. Unfortunately, we ran out of time trying to get there. We have released some of our best content this year and received a tremendous amount of positive feedback, but ultimately that did not translate to sales. With a heavy heart, we watch our friends leave today to spread our brand of storytelling across the games industry." Now, I have an idea why people are not buying Telltale games anymore. It's because for some, they are time consuming. The games are very time consuming. For some people, they don't have the attention span to play them, and these games are very stressful too. It can be exhausting. Trust me. When I was playing The Walking Dead Season 1, and when I also played Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 1, it's really hard to... Here's how it works, okay? So in these games, it's all based on the decisions that you make. The stories and the plot can change in a massive way or even in a minuscule way based on the decisions that you make. And you got to be careful with what you decide to do, because a lot of it may involve people that you love get killed or get killed by something else, or the bad guys will succeed. And it will continue the whole storyline, and it will continue all the way through each episode that you'll continue. Say if you finish season 1, all the decisions that you made in season 1 go straight into season 2. So of course your PS4 or the Xbox One, they actually save everything that you have done in the game, so it picks up where you left off in the next season. So there's no going back with what you made and what you didn't made. So, that actually pisses a lot of people off, because then they feel like, I didn't want it to go this way. Oh, I hate it now. Oh my gosh. Like, can I restart it? The only way you can restart it is go all the way back to the beginning. And now you're going to have to go through the rest of the whole game through a situation and a process that you didn't want, and you made the wrong decision, and that angers the player. Also, these games are episodic, so the average price for a game is about $60, 55 to $60 for a video game. That's insane right there. Whoa. And The Walking Dead Season 1 had 5 episodes. So 5 times 60, that is a crazy amount of money. So you're probably thinking, wait a minute, like, I already bought episode 1. Can I buy the other ones like 50% off? Well, that sounds reasonable. But no, you're going to have to pay the same price for per episode, because technically it's a whole different game. So a lot of people are not okay with that. But a major part is also choosing to watch other people play. So you could go on YouTube and watch your favorite YouTubers play the game. And not only will you not play the game, but you're also watching your favorite YouTubers react to it and commentate. and you'll laugh or you'll be very amused by the things that your YouTuber will say while playing. A lot of people like that. A lot of people do that. I do that myself. Whenever there's a game I'm not interested in playing, I'll go to someone like Iberleezy. I'll go to his channel, and if he's playing a specific game that I'm interested in, but I'm not interested in playing it, then I'll watch him play it. And the reason why I go to him is because his style of humor is the type of humor that I enjoy. So his channel is my preference. But if I want to see something else played by another person, I would go to the Rat Brad, or some people, they love to go see PewDiePie, who I think is the most obnoxious, annoying YouTuber. Um, but that's just my opinion. So, and you look at these videos, some of them are 8 hours long. 8 hours long per episode. Sometimes. They'll just take breaks between those times. I mean, it's wild. It's really wild. But the it doesn't take away the greatness of the story. Telltale, the Walking Dead series has the best story in the entire gaming community. The best. Even better than what is being aired on television. And I'm going to explain why is that in another episode, because that's a long subject. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be covering every season of The Walking Dead, which is season 1 through 3, per episode that I will be discussing. But I think that's one of the main reasons why Telltale is not making a lot of money, because fans would much prefer to watch somebody else play it than they play it themselves, because they just don't have the patience. I have all the time whenever I want to. I'll make the time. I enjoy it. I love story-based games. I only play games that have campaigns. I'm not a big multiplayer guy. I mean, right now, the only multiplayer game that I'm into is Fortnite. Sometimes I'll play Battlefront 2 online. But other than that, I just play the campaigns. That's it. So Telltale provides that, and that's why I love Telltale. The game industry has changed a lot, too. It really has. And I a lot of it has to do with free games. I'm Fortnite, guys. Fortnite. That, whoo, I can't even really say anything about Fortnite. I'm just speechless how big and popular and powerful in a cultural way. I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon. That's how big Fortnite is. I mean, right now, oh boy, I'm pretty sure most people are going to be dressed up as Fortnite characters this coming Halloween. I guarantee you. I mean, people were already doing that at Comic-Con and E3. It's just getting crazy. Along with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. That is huge right there. It's Fortnite's competitor. And you have Smite. Smite is a popular one. Pretty popular on Twitch. And then also Overwatch. Now, Overwatch, I don't remember. I don't think it's free. I think you have to pay for that. But yeah, it's all about Fortnite, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Overwatch, and Smite. Those are the go-to games right now, and they're affordable. Especially the three of those. 3 out of the 4 games are free, and they're fun. They're very addicting too. Very addicting. Very addictive. So I think a lot of that has to do with also regular games too. People want to play with other people. The gaming industry has become a new form of social media. Fortnite it's literally a social media platform. It literally is. And it, it's just wow. I mean, you get to socialize with people all over the world through Fortnite, through an online game, and you could have conversations with them, work together, and you could add them as friends on PS4 and or at all on all consoles, of course, and all platforms. You could add them as friends, and some of them play each other so often that they actually even um, exchange information on Facebook or phone numbers, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. It's it's just amazing how, I mean, if you would have told me this, that games would be like this, if you told me this like 10 years ago, I wouldn't believe you. I would not believe you. Um, that was just an idea. It wasn't an actual thing. The first console I ever got was the Sega Dreamcast, and I got that one like in 1999, 2000, one of those 2 years. And the Sega Dreamcast, that was a revolutionary console, very revolutionary. Microsoft was involved. It was the first video game console that you were able to play online, uh, play multiplayer online, first one ever. But then Xbox came into the picture, and then PlayStation. Everybody forgot about Sega, but nobody gives Sega the credit. No, they don't. Everybody looks back at Xbox, starting with Halo. No, dude, Sega Dreamcast. Dreamcast started that. Sega started that. But Sega is a dead company, and nobody nobody cares about the companies back then because, of course, they're not doing anything anymore. But but right now, I want to pull up an article that Forbes published. Um, it explains about the most possible outcome of what's going to happen with Telltale, especially with for my favorite video game franchise, The Walking Dead, of course. So here's what the article says. Telltale's surprise closure means The Walking Dead Season 4 may never end up finished. You gotta be kidding me. While it's always a sad day when a game studio closes and people lose their jobs, the industry was rocked yesterday by the shocking news that interactive fiction giant Telltale was suddenly shutting down, laying off 250 employees. Wow. While a skeleton crew remained to tie up a few loose ends. It's a devastating story, one that everyone will be trying to puzzle out for a long while now, as most employees, including Telltale's own PR rep, doesn't seem to have any clue as to what actually happened here. The surprise shutdown has resulted in these 250 employees getting laid off without any severance, healthcare that runs out in a week, and no idea how they're able to stay in the Bay Area, some of whom recently relocated with their families to get there. That sucks, man. That sucks. Wow. Fans and industry players have rallied around the workers, and studio after studio has been sending out notices for available jobs at places like Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Gearbox, and more. So hopefully the talented Telltale staff will end up better places when all is said and done. But the interim is bound to be terrifying. This has been such a sudden development that it's thrown the state of essentially ever ongoing Telltale project into disarray. Some things are obvious, like Telltale's Game of Thrones and The Wolf Among Us not getting new seasons. The upcoming Stranger Things game has been canceled. But now there's word that The Walking Dead Season 4, the conclusion of Clementine's story, may not even see its final 2 chapters released because of how fully and totally Telltale has been gutted. This is infuriating fans, definitely, many of whom not only paid for the full set of chapters, but also clearly want to see how Clementine's tale ends after the beginning the journey in 2012, 6 years ago. And yeah, just to let you all know, Clementine is the main character of the franchise. Reportedly, the only project that a tiny crew of 25 or so will remain working on is the Minecraft story mode game they were making for Netflix, which appears to be a contractual obligation that have to fulfill or risk the wrath of the streaming giant. What exactly happened to Telltale? That's a question that's going to be asked for weeks and months to come. The obvious answer is that the games just were not selling well. Supposedly, very few Telltale games have actually ended up profitable. For me personally, when I loved the idea of Telltale games and clearly entries like The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead Season 1, waiting cons for new episodes was exhausting to the point where I just waited for full seasons just to be out before buying. If I bought them all, that was a weird. Wow, this guy messed up this sentence. No commas. And eventually, it became somewhat clear that these games weren't really evolving in meaningful ways, either from a storytelling or gameplay perspective, as your choices, no matter what they were, always seemed to lead you down the same path no matter what, for the most part. But besides the flagging popularity of the model, back in March, The Verge published a scorching piece about the Telltale's toxic management caused the studio its best developers. Here's an excerpt. Some managers would try to alleviate the pain of crunch by supplying overtime workers with food or alcohol. Token gestures, sources were an effort to make the process as comfortable as possible. They were putting a band-aid on a wound that had been there for years. The source says they were just trying to get their job done right now, but nobody was looking long-term and being like, this is unsustainable. As it turns out, it was indeed unsustainable. It always felt like Telltale was taking on just way too many projects. The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, Guardians of the Galaxy, Borderlands, Minecraft, Batman, Stranger Things. All since 2012, the appeal of landing these IPs was attractive, no doubt, but it was just too much. This is a very, very sad situation for Telltale's talented staff who deserved better, and fans will be disappointed they won't finish their favorite series with this abrupt ending. What a total mess. It sure is a total mess. It's a devastating too. Wow, look at this. The Walking Dead is the greatest video game franchise of all time, guys, okay? And I will cover more of that in the upcoming episodes. Telltale is my all-time favorite video game company, along with Rockstar, Valve, and Bethesda. I used to be a Bungie fan, but they've been making bland material after the release of Halo 4. That should not have happened. Destiny is a bit of a disappointment, but it's enjoyable at times. The worst part about the game is the theme song by Paul McCartney, and the music video is ugly based on the effects. Dear Lord, isn't that video nasty? Oh my gosh. But overall, Telltale has released better games, in my opinion, in the past 10 years. Just like that were mentioned in the article. The Wolf Among Us, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, Minecraft the Story, Batman the Telltale series, Batman the Enemy Within, Guardians of the Galaxy, and The Walking Dead seasons 1 through 3. That's a great list of games right there. What sucks now is that The Wolf Among Us season 2 is canceled. Game of Thrones season 2 is canceled. And Stranger Things, a Telltale series, are all canceled. Done, gone, ain't happening. Here's another article right here that was reported by CBN. CBN.com. The Walking Dead, the final season, has disappeared from the PlayStation and Xbox One digital stores, as well as Steam and GOG. At the time this article was posted, the game's season pass was still available to buy on the Switch eShop. This latest news comes after the studio laid off approximately 90% of its staff last Friday, and a couple of days after Telltale announced that it was working on finding other partners to potentially help it release episodes 3 and 4 of the game's final season in some form. Episode 1 released in August, and episode 2 only came out yesterday. It was 2 days ago. That's what it was. 2 days ago. It was on Monday it was released. Telltale hasn't yet issued a public statement as to why the game was pulled from stores. However, GOG, CD Projekt Red's digital store, published a note on the game's page explaining its sudden absence. Quote, Telltale has requested a temporary pause of sales of The Walking Dead final season, it said. For all up-to-date Telltale news, please refer to the official Twitter page. Telltale's Twitter page doesn't currently have an update. Instead, the company's pinned tweet still says that the final season is available on PS4, Xbox, Steam, and Switch. The studio did not immediately respond to a request by Kotaku for comment. As of this morning, it was still possible to purchase and download the game's season pass on Switch, which includes the currently released episodes but charges for all 4. It also appears to still be available on the Microsoft Windows Store and Humble Bundle. Following the layoff of the majority of the people who worked at the studio without any severance, one ex-employee is pursuing a class action lawsuit against the company for allegedly violating the California and federal WARN Acts, which require employers of a certain size to give workers 60 days notice prior to mass layoffs in most cases. So, yeah, that was a big controversy right there. It was instantaneous. Not even a day's notice. It just happened. Just right at the spot. It's like, okay, guys, we're done. What? It's like, yeah, we're all done. Go home. Get your things. It's just like, what? What? Like, what kind of company does that? Oh, boy. Here, it also continues. As a result of how developers on The Walking Dead and other Telltale games were treated, many fans have been torn about whether The Walking Dead should continue. When Telltale announced that the series might still see episode 3 and 4 of the concluding season released in some way, many on social media responded that the studio should worry about providing severance for its former staffers before looking to finish a narrative journey that began back in 2012 when the first Walking Dead game was released. While Telltale has continued to operate since last Friday with a skeleton crew of approximately 25 people, the latest development makes the company's future even more unclear. Now, okay, so there was an update right here. Here's an update report. A spokesperson for Telltale provided the following statement to Kotaku on why the game was removed from stores and its future plans regarding episodes 3 and 4. Quote, yes, we have removed season passes for The Walking Dead, the final season, from stores for the time being. We're currently still working to find a way to hand off production of episodes 3 and 4 so that the season can be completed. The outcome of those efforts will determine when and how the final season returns to stores. We hope to have a firm announcement before the end of the week. For now, we apologize for any inconvenience. End quote. This whole crisis is the worst one we have had since the cancellation of Silent Hills, which was going to be done by Guillermo del Toro. And you all remember who was going to be the star of the main character of the video game, right? Norman Reedus. Yes, Norman frickin' Reedus. And if you guys don't know who he is, he plays as a badass character named Daryl in the TV series version of The Walking Dead. But then some creative differences were going on in Del Toro, and long story short, they canceled the game, and it was a huge disappointment. I was mad about it. The demo was phenomenal, and now you can't even play it. Only those who downloaded the demo can play it, if I'm not mistaken. Here's another confirmation report by CBN.com about listing the games that will still play and the games that we'll no longer see anymore. I think we already made that clear. So we're gonna see the Sam and Max series continue. It's one of the originals they've done. We're not getting the Stranger Things, guys. I know all you fans out there, you guys are really angry about that, but it's not happening. Not happening. We're gonna keep Back to the Future, so at least we have that. Game of Thrones season 2. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. The Walking Dead season 1 through 2. Good, we have it. Wait, did we get season 3? We didn't see. It says 1 through 2. Where's season 3? I'm assuming it's season 3. They also have season 3 because it says we're not getting The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 3 to 4. So that's confusing. I'm pretty sure we're keeping season 3. The Wolf Among Us. We're only keeping season 1. We're never gonna see a season 2. Poker Night at the Inventory, part 1 and 2. Yeah, we're keeping that one. We're not gonna see Saga. Yeah, we're not gonna see Saga, guys. Tales from the Borderlands. We're keeping it. They're not getting rid of it. Oh man. Oh, I didn't know they were doing this. They were gonna do a Black Mirror game. Oh man. Oh, that sucks. I didn't even know that till now. Wow. Okay. What are we keeping? The Walking Dead, Michonne. This one was weak. Michonne is. I don't think she deserved her own episode, her own series. So I thought it was whack. We're not gonna get any more superhero projects by Marvel and DC. No more. That's a shame. So Batman: The Enemy Within. That's it. That's the only thing we're keeping. So yeah, there's that list right there. So back to the controversy. There's another story here that involves an employee that's filing a suit against Telltale. Here's what it says. Former Telltale employee files suit after massive layoffs. A former Telltale Games employee filed a lawsuit against the company on Monday following massive layoffs there last week. The complaint alleges the game developer violated California's WARN Act, which states employers must give workers at least 60 days advance notice of termination. Vernie Roberts Jr. filed the suit on behalf of himself and the approximately 275 people who worked at Telltale. Oh, 275 instead of 250. The Walking Dead studio failed to pay its laid-off workers their respective wages, salary, commissions, bonuses, accrued holiday pay, and accrued vacation for 60 working days following their terminations. According to a copy of the complaint posted on classaction.org, it also allegedly failed to make pension on 401k contributions, pay medical expenses, or provide other employee benefits under the Employee Retirement Income Security Act. Telltale Games laid off nearly 90% of its staff without warning. Wow. And apparently without severance pay. Wow. Which happened on Friday morning during a company meeting. So this happened during a meeting. Who knows what happened in that meeting. Co-founder Dan Connors told Variety the decision was connected directly to a failed round of financing. The surprise news came just days before the release of the second episode of The Walking Dead's final season. The developer said it's now in talks with potential partners to finish the remaining 2 episodes. Following the layoffs, CEO Pete Hawley said the developer was working to set itself on a new course, but ran out of time. Variety contacted Telltale Games about the class action lawsuit, but it did not immediately respond. It's a big mess. Big mess. Big problem. Big problemo. So, again, we just have questions. The word is, and I'm going to cover this on the next episode. The word is that the 25 remaining employees, they're actually going to devote their time to actually finish The Walking Dead, the final season. That one is surprising because, they're not saying like, oh, we're going to help out with Stranger Things. Oh, we're going to do Game of Thrones season 2. We're going to do Wolf Among Us. They said, no, we're doing Walking Dead. And I have not played or seen anything about the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to, because even though I watch them, I am going to play the games whenever I get the chance. I want to see if I can ever get the games, but I'm definitely going to play it, and I'm not going to watch the final season. I'm going to play the final season. And they said if they're still going to be on schedule by going back to development of The Walking Dead final season. The last episode was announced to be released in December, the second week of December. So my goal is to play the first 3 seasons and catch up with the final season all the way till the end. I'm going to play that game all the way to the end. Okay, I am not going to be missing out. No way, Jose. Can't stop me. So, I think this basically covers it, guys, for today's episode. The next one, I don't know if I should talk about Insomniac's Spider-Man, because I am going to play it. I am late on it, but yeah, I'm going to be playing Spider-Man. So it depends. Either I'm going to talk about Walking Dead Season 1 or Spider-Man. So I do know Spider-Man is going to be a number of episodes of me talking about it, because I hear that it's a long game. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there are any topics that you would want me to talk about. And yeah, whatever you mention to me, I'll consider it, and I'll definitely put it on my schedule. All right, everybody. So hope you enjoyed my opinions and also the knowledge that I was sharing with all of you and making you more miserable about this problem. Yeah, sorry to make you guys even feel more bad about the stuff that I read to you. But you know what? Let nature take its course. Let the higher power handle all of this. You never know. Things may change. All right. Just as unexpected was the firing was, something else may come up. All right, everyone. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.